Hola, amigos, and welcome to the last show on Televida. My name's Elliot. We've got a great show for you lined up tonight, but first of all, I want to show you, we've got Guillermo a new frame here. I thought he deserved a new frame. Guillermo Rodriguez, the patron saint of bilingual talk show personalities, he has a new home for the rest of the show. Paola, Kansas. It's a town of about 5,300 people, about 30 minutes southwest of Kansas City. Most famously known for the quarterback Lynn Dickey, who played for the Green Bay Packers. I know that because my brother-in-law played for the Packers. I think he should be known for somebody who we refer to as the world genius. He's comedian James Johann. He's been doing comedy over 30 years, and he's the first comedian to do a dry bar special. We have James Johann tonight, but first, let's take a look at that dry bar special.
Has anybody been to Kansas? Anybody ever been to Kansas? Yeah, a couple of you. Good. All right, well, good. And you ain't missing much if you haven't been. Nobody knows nothing about my state. You know, everywhere I go, people are like, Kansas, huh? How's Dorothy? You know, she's dead, so quit bringing that up. It's depressing. And her little dog, too. I live in a little tiny town in Kansas, a little town called Paola. It's a typical small town. You guys have seen them. You got your town square in the middle with the gazebo and everything. I was up on the square the other day with my daughter, and we ran into our new preacher, and he just moved there, so he was lost. He's looking for the grocery store. So I told him how to get there, and he was like, well, hey, you two stop by the church on Sunday. I'll help you get to heaven. I was like, man, you can't find the grocery store. You can't find Price Chopper. What are you talking about? Aim a little high there, Padre, don't you think? Maybe heaven? I don't know. I'm just surprised I even made it up here. I drove here from Kansas. I'm surprised I made it in my car. Anybody else drive a piece of junk car? Yeah. I saw a few of them out front. I know you're in here. I saw a couple of them. Well, don't feel bad if you're driving junk. I bet you got me beat. I'm driving one of them 70s station wagons with the wood paneling on the side. Oh, yeah, chicks dig it. You've seen those cars, got the wood paneling, and it blows this blue smoke all the time. I call it Puff the Tragic Wagon. It's a piece of junk. I drove through a snowstorm in Colorado coming here. I found out my windshield wipers have 2 speeds, off and smear. That's what I got, off and smear. It's always broke down. I have to ride with people a lot. I rode with my dad about a week ago. You guys ever want to find out if your dad's getting old? Take a ride with him. I'm not kidding you. My dad's in the fast lane on the highway going 38. You know, he's chain smoking Camels with the windows up. I'm like, thanks, dude. I'll have a tumor time we get to Target. This is awesome. Could you crack it? I love my dad. He's a good guy, but he is hard to ride with. We can't even agree on a radio station in the car. You know, like my dad likes rock and roll, but he don't like my rock and roll. He likes oldies. You know, he likes Elvis. You guys remember Elvis, that big fat dude from the 70s? Elvis. That's the way I remember him. I don't remember the young, cool Elvis. I just remember the big banana sandwich bloated Elvis. That's what I remember. My dad loves Elvis. He don't even think he's dead yet. He don't. He thinks he's on some island out there with Bigfoot and a bunch of chicks or something. And he hates my music. He's always complaining. He's like, I don't understand all this screaming rock and roll stuff you listen to. Okay, Dad, you want to explain Shamalama Ding Dong to me? What is that? You know, how messed up you got to be to write Papa Meow Meow, Papa Meow Meow, Papa Meow Meow.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it. 30 years?
I know, it doesn't sound awful long.
You haven't aged any. You know, they say black doesn't crack, rural doesn't crack, because you could still be doing that stovetop bit. You haven't aged any.
Yeah, well.
You eat whatever you want. I see you on social media, and you stay skinny.
Yeah, well, I got to have my snacks.
I never seen a post of you exercising, ever, ever.
I get a lot of exercise picking up beer cans in the morning after the party.
All right, so James Johann, you did the dry bar special, but when did you start in Kansas City in comedy?
I was 19. It was about 90. Right after high school, I tried an open mic. I couldn't find a job I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom
from Paola, Kansas. You came down from Paola.
I was living in Paola. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find a job, and I was just sitting around the house, and my mom goes, well, you think you're so damn funny. Why don't we go down to the comedy club?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And your mom took you?
And she took
that is so sweet.
David Nastor and Rob Leiter.
Okay.
And the next week I went and tried open mic.
I think that's so cool to actually see other comics that did it, and it just stuck, right?
Yeah. So David Nastor was the first comic I've ever seen here. So.
Let me ask you this. So when was the first time you went on the road and did comedy?
Oh, it was like I did the back of a spaghetti restaurant in
Spaghetti
Iowa.
Works.
Yeah, Spaghetti Works.
Yes, I
mean,
remember
they gave
that.
me like $50 and
Uh-huh.
free spaghetti dinner. And it was like a 4-hour drive to get up there.
Actually, are you sure that was intentional booking? Because Jake Johansson is from Iowa. Maybe they wanted to book Jake Johansson and not you.
If I had a nickel for every billboard that's had Jake Johansson when it's my show, you know.
So anyway, so when did the heyday of, so you were there for the heyday comedy for pretty much, right?
I kind of came in a little late. I think the 80s, it was when it was really going, and I got in like early 90s.
But you kind of got in on the tail end of that blue collar tour with Ron White, Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy.
Yep,
Who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anybody?
Bill Engvall.
And Bill Engvall, yeah. I'm forgetting the not funny one out of the three.
He said it, Bill. Not me.
He's hilarious and a great basketball player.
Yeah, those guys were great. I
Yeah.
toured with Larry for a while and Jeff was great. And just the biggest arenas, you know. We did the Los Angeles Amphitheater. We did Kemper Arena here.
Now, what is that like when you do a show for?
So weird.
Because I've never done that for over 10,000 people.
Yeah, the first time I ever went to a concert, I saw Rush at Kemper, and now we're doing comedy, and there's 10,000 people there, and it's.
Is it one of those things where you tell the joke and then you don't hear yourself and then you hear it reverberate, or how does that work?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. When you do a joke in a big theater or an auditorium like that, you tell your joke and you can hear the laugh just roll like a wave. You know, you can just hear it hitting the back of the room. It's really strange, but it's really cool.
Well, when you do a big show like that, can you still do the small comedy format acts? Where you're from, what do you do for a living, that kind of stuff? When you have that many people, to just stick to the act and move on.
It has to be so big, you know, and it's not like a small club where it's real intimate. So you got to kind of play it up a little bit, I think.
Play it up really big.
Yeah.
So you've worked clubs all over the country, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of you eased into something I used to do forever, which is cruise ships. Now, when did that start?
Well, you know, after the blue collar stuff kind of went away, after they quit touring or whatever.
You know why they quit touring is because they had all the money in the world.
Yeah,
to what end, right? When you're worth $80 million,
I still
why
had
go?
to keep working. But, you know, my manager sent me over to the ships, and I kind of pride myself on being able to work anywhere, like a corporate or a club or a ship. You know, I'll go anywhere they're having a show. So.
And that's what the one thing I try to tell these young comedians. But I hate to be like one of these old. When I did this, but at the end of the day, you have to monetize your act. You have to be able to make money off it, and it's much easier to just have the same act that goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember when we do corporate gigs before, and I had my club act, and I had my corporate act, and it was just like, oh my God, what am I doing? I got to do these bits, and I'm doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it would be just easier just to take out some of the edgy stuff and just do one act.
Yeah.
I don't have to remember as much, right?
They make a lot more money working clean, and like Carnival called me and they said we need you to do family shows. And I said, okay, well, you don't know my family, but you don't have to know your answers. But I'll have a show. I'll have an 85-year-old woman next to a 5-year-old girl. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm somewhere between like SpongeBob and Lawrence Welk. Half the crowd's in diapers, and so's the other half. You know, but if you can make them all laugh, and granted, I'll do some goofy stuff on the ships that I probably wouldn't do in clubs. But you know, it pays the bills.
But well, the thing is, it's you suspend disbelief in Carnival. My God, that's you're not, because I don't know. This will be on a couple weeks, but they had that fight over Menage a Trois. Did you hear about that?
I saw that, and then the one that got on fire. I mean, every time something happens on Carnival, all my friends message me like, "Did you do that?" I'm like, "No," but yeah, they had a fight over a threesome or something.
Yeah. Now this is something I did not know. I just took a cruise with my wife to Alaska, and I did not know. Did you know about the upside down pineapple on the door?
No, what's that mean? Not sure I want to know, but what is it?
Well, now when you go on the ship next, you'll see an upside down pineapple on the back of a cabin door. That means you're a swinger.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea.
Actually,
I just thought these were dyslexic SpongeBob lovers, but no, it means you're a swinger. So don't let anybody put that on your door.
I'm gonna be looking for those.
So you've been all over the world. Tell me some of the exciting places you've been, because you've been to Europe, you've been to Australia.
Yeah, I've not made it to Australia. I did a cruise where we got to Tahiti, which is about halfway to Australia, and then they flew us back. But the ship went on to Australia, but they brought in some new comics, but not been there yet. But I did get to see Germany, Italy, Croatia, the whole Mediterranean, like Monte Carlo and stuff. And I never thought I'd get that far, you know, telling jokes.
Is it weird, the contrast that you're out in the Greek islands of Greece, and then 2 weeks later you're back in Paola, Kansas?
Well, it's funny because most of the people on those Mediterranean cruises are rednecks like me. From
I know,
Paola,
isn't that
so
weird?
Basically, it was just us in a nicer place. So it's pretty much the same thing. But it is kind of a culture shock to go back home after you've seen so much of the world. Like, boy, this is really small here.
Is it a culture shock in a good way or a bad
Well, it's
way?
a good way. I think traveling.
I mean, because you could live anywhere you want and do cruise ships. You could live in Tampa like half those other cruise ship comics, right?
half
But
of
you
them
don't.
just live in Florida so they can jump.
Well, they eliminate one flight, right? They eliminate one flight.
Yeah, but I can't leave KC. I love Kansas City.
Plus, your lovely daughter lives here.
Right.
And you're from here.
That's right. Well, from Paola, if you can call that Kansas City, but I think so.
I don't think we could. So tell me about who are the. Well, when did you first see me? When did I don't know if I was living here. I lived in LA for a little bit. Was I back here when you started?
Yeah, you were around. But you were one of the first people I ever went and did like outside shows with. I remember we did a bar, like it might have been in Portland.
Oh yeah, or something. Yeah.
Something. But you were one of the guys that would let me come on the road and get outside of the club.
Well, you know why? Because you could drive, pretty much.
You did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You look for? What do you look for to feature at? Good transmission, good driving record. That's
right.
what you.
And you still owe me some gas.
I still owe you some gas. I remember I had this big ass BMW or something. Remember that? I think it was my sister's car. I didn't know how to do anything.
You got to get a smaller road car, man.
Well, I want to talk about this. No, I know you don't like to take hard choices and make hard decisions, but apparently you've done something that's kind of controversial here. And it's, a lot of people say, where's the best barbecue? That can rub folks the wrong way, but you've actually come down on the Casey's Quick Trip thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like Paola, all these small towns across America, in the Midwest at least, have Casey's general stores.
Yes.
Paola has two, one on each side of town.
They have a Quick Trip yet?
No, and we'll never get one. Never.
And there's the loyalty. And you know why you'll never get one?
No.
Because of this video. Watch this. We'll be right back with James Johann on the last show.
Hello, folks. Some of you may not know, but there's a comedian out there named James Johann. And yesterday, he viciously and savagely and very cowardly attacked me. More importantly, he attacked the good institution of Quick Trip. Okay, and I just want to take a few minutes to respond to Mr. Johann. Okay? First of all, his accusations against Quick Trip are just ridiculous. And I'm not going to dignify them with a response, okay? But he came after me personally, all right? First of all, he said I'm from Festus, which is wrong, okay? And then he's trying to act like Casey's is the greatest thing ever because it's more in line with small town America. Don't tell me about small town America, James Johann, okay? I invented small town America, all right? I'm from a town so small that Casey's dried up and blew away. That's a true story. We lost a McDonald's and a Walmart, okay? My town's so small, if Bruce Springsteen came and wrote a song about this plant shutting down, he would just get frustrated and leave, a right-winger, okay? You gonna tell me about Casey's? Okay, when I was 10 years old, I was walking down to Casey's buying baseball cards. I remember when every employee at Casey's had to smoke. Like they wouldn't let you work there unless you chain smoked. Okay, I'm in there buying baseball cards as a little kid. What you know about 1988 Tops with still got a stick of gum in there. Okay, all your baseball cards got powdered sugar on them. And a stick of gum so stale you can slap it and it'll shatter into pieces. What do you know about a 1990 Bo Jackson scorecard? Okay, what do you know about a 1989 Billy Ripken Fleer? Come at me with that. See what I don't know about small town America, James Johann. Oh, and by the way, people, James is known for wearing a Kansas City Royals hat all the time, even on stage, okay? Isn't it a funny coincidence that this weekend the St. Louis Cardinals are playing the Kansas City Royals? Might Mr. Johann be experiencing a little bit of jealousy, okay? A little bit of envy that we're a little bit used to over here on this side of the state, right? The same way that Casey's fans are jealous of the juggernaut Quick Trip, the Royals fans just can't handle the 11-time world champion St. Louis Cardinals. I'm sitting out in front of the 11-time world champion gas station, okay? While comedians on the web are attacking me with baseless smears. And I'm not going to stand for it, all right? So you folks be safe out there, eat your donuts, and do not listen to James Johann.
And we're back, and I've got this KC spread for you. When's the last time somebody did for this in a talk show?
This was worth getting out of bed for.
This was, I knew you woke up about an hour ago.
A whole pizza here? Oh,
Look at this. Now explain to us the difference between, because we have a lot of Quick Trip viewers out here.
Right.
But you're going to hold to your theory, right?
Well,
You're not going to weaken up.
I work in St. Louis a lot at
Okay.
the Funny Bone, and my buddy Will O'Donnell over there, he's a Quick Trip guy. He has a whole bit in his show about how Quick Trip's the best, and that's how. But we don't have one, and if you live in a small town, Casey's is the place to go. They got donuts, they got great pizza. So I made a video kind of messing with Will about Casey's is better than Quick Trip. And then he fired one back at me, and we were just messing with each other. And then it just took off, and all these people started wanting more videos of us going back and forth.
Well, where does Kansas City fall in the Casey's Quick Trip?
Well, up in Kansas City, you can find Quick Trips, but small town America, like Paola, Kansas, you're not going to find one. And Casey's is.
So is this the typical Johann breakfast? Explain this here.
You are not going to find a better quality donut. You can go to Quick Trip. You are not going to find Quick Trip witches. Okay. Quick Trip has donuts. They're all right, but look at this. I mean, this is deliciousness in a box.
And then, how does Quick Trip coffee compared to Casey's coffee?
Well, everything at Casey's is better than Quick Trip. Let's just put it that way. And I should be their spokesman. I should be getting paid for this.
You should be.
But
wouldn't it be funny if Quick Trip wanted you to be your spokesman and they saw this and they went, eh.
Yeah, well, they should hire Will to be their spokesman, and then we can have a war.
All right, so basically, in Paola, a normal breakfast is one of these.
Right.
One of these, right?
Nice coffee.
And then we roll into.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
Well, Casey's Pizza, and I feel like I just want to stop the interview.
Give it to the camera, Jack.
And they're ready in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You can order it by the phone and run over and pick it up. And it's great pizza, and
do you do the whole pizza? And we'll get another shot of it here. Do you do the whole Casey's pizza, or do you do the grabbers?
When I do
the plastic
Casey's,
grabber.
I usually if I just want a slice or pepperoni, I'll just do a quick slice. But if I want a whole pizza, they have a taco pizza. That's really good. So if I do a whole pizza, it's usually a taco pizza.
What I always found funny is that lots of times when you're drunk at Casey's, they have this Ferris wheel, right, of a merry-go-round that you can look at the pizza where you try to,
Some nights it seems to be spinning faster than other nights. But that's great. You get a show. It's a pizza Ferris wheel. It's awesome.
So you're a Casey's person forever then?
Well, it's just by necessity.
Okay.
You get up in the morning at 9 o'clock at night, and in Paola, about the only thing open is Casey's.
We have a Pizza Hut in Casey's in Paola too. One of the big eat-in Pizza Huts.
No, not anymore.
Oh,
now they have the little
now
delivery
you've depressed me. Now
But we're stepping up. We got an Arby's, we got an Applebee's, but Casey's is, for donuts and pizza, that's the place to go.
You got an Arby's? Oh
ain't
my
got
God!
nothing
I don't know if that's happy. Did you even have a ribbon cutting for Arby's? I don't know if that's worth it. So tell me about the music part of your career.
Well,
because you play, you're an artist, you play guitar, and I think in another world you would have been a grunge guitarist, right?
Maybe, yeah. I'm actually in a band right now, a band called
Tell me
The
about the
Wheels.
band.
Well, we're in a band called The Wheels, and it's a bunch of my high school buddies, and it's just something fun to do. We're going to play a couple gigs. We're doing a gig at the Gardner Lake. It's called Rock the Dock, and there's 4 bands, and every band plays for 2 hours. And
is everybody in the band about your age?
Yeah.
So it's almost one of those bands you could have like in a Viagra or a Forxiga commercial at this point, isn't it? It's an older band. It's got the older guy band.
But we do play some newer music. All right, we play some newer stuff. So.
Well, hold on, dude. Do you have a website and everything, all that stuff?
No, we haven't got that far
All right,
yet.
so that's The Wheels. Well, you can find that through your website there.
Right.
What about your own content? Because it seems to me, Comedy Dynamic, you have so many things out there. How do they get to your stuff? And buy it.
My stuff. I do a lot on Facebook. My daughter tells me that's the social media for old people, and she's probably
She
right.
is correct on that.
But that's where most everybody gets me. I do have an Instagram. I have a Twitter, but I don't tweet.
I don't tweet. It's too much work.
Well, you only get like 34 letters or
Yeah.
something. I got more to say than that. So.
Well, here's the thing: is that when we started doing comedy, it was just your stand-up, and that was it. Folks, you won't mind believe this, but we used to actually have to mail a VHS tape. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
You'd actually have to mail a tape and send it out.
And hope someone would
And
watch
hope
it.
somebody would watch it. And then you go to the comedy clubs and they see stacks of unopened tapes and everything like that. And also, and this is why I think you can't find any bad content on James Johann or Elliot Threed out there, because when we taped back in the day, it was a big deal, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
I mean, it wasn't just like whip out your phone and just tape my stream of consciousness. It was a big deal when you had to hire somebody.
Yep.
You had to, bring all your friends in, and that was your shot.
Yeah. Now you can just send a link.
That's
to
right.
your video.
And if the crowd sucks right in the middle of your taping, you ever have that? And I just wasted $200 on this taping. I just cut.
It's all changed. I'll go to clubs now and I'll see the posters for the comedians that are coming, and one of the credits, it's not late night, it's not Televida with Elliot.
Oh,
It's TikTok.
TikTok.
That's their credit. They're TikTok comedians.
And
So
they're TikTok famous.
they're TikTok famous, but they'll fill out a comedy club. I don't know what some of these people do because they just do goofy stuff on TikTok. I don't know what they do for a live show, but that's a credit now.
I have no idea. You know, my daughter gets a call from Instagram the other day. And I said, Chloe, why are you calling us? She says, well, I posted something on Instagram that had a lot of views. I says, well, how many views was it? I'm thinking 3. She says 2 million. And I said, I don't even know, and I go, well, what is this? What is she? And it was just some kind of anime headphones. Just for a second, it wasn't her voice and everything like that. It's amazing how kids can monetize. I don't know if that helps comedy or not. I mean, because I see a lot of comics you haven't done this yet, where they just put like a bit out on YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Dry Bar do that?
They do. They'll Instagram the stuff and put it out. But I think that's the thing now is you just have to put it out there and be consistent. And if you're funny, they'll notice. But if you're not, but some of these things, they're so, I hate saying, but some are just so dumb that they catch on. It's like they just keep doing them every week, and they just, I don't know. But it's a thing you have to adapt to now, because that's the way comedy's going. Because some of these people that come into the clubs and stuff are just TikTok famous. Never seen them in a club.
But apparently, to do an act, you have to do 45 minutes, and that's. And by the way, on cruise ships, the thing that always intimidated me is you got to do a lot of different shows in a lot of time. Isn't that a little intimidating?
It is, especially when you first start. But yeah, you have to fill a lot of time. It's a lot of jokes. But then being on the ships, you just start automatically writing jokes about the ship. So everybody's on the ship, so they all get it. You make fun of the buffet. You make fun of the lifeboats.
But can you make fun of the other stuff that happened on Carnival? That's like a no-go.
I do.
No.
Well, they ask you not to mention those things like, and you got to be careful too, because you get people from all over the world, so you have to watch, like just what you do. So.
I saw the funniest bit from Brett Kirshner, I think is his name.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard his Carnival bit?
No.
Oh God, I saw it on TikTok the other day. Yeah. And he told Brett Kirshner's dad told him we're going on a cruise ship. And he says, fine, Dad, what cruise you going on? He says, Carnival. It's like, oh my God, Carnival. He says, well, son, I'm going to be honest with you. He says, I swear to God, my dad said this to me. He says, I like to go on Carnival because I like to see black people have fun.
Man. Well,
that's hard shit.
Here's what it is about Carnival. There's a lot of kids. That last one I was on was like a floating Chuck E. Cheese. And it's kind of the Greyhound of the sea.
Would you ever take Olivia on a cruise?
I have taken her.
And
we went to Mexico, and then she loves it. And I like Carnival,
But she was kind of older. I'd be kind of nervous trying to keep track of kids if I had like a bunch of 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds or stuff.
Yeah, if I'm on vacation, I usually don't want a kid there messing it up for me. But yeah, I've taken her down. We went and visited Mexico and did some stuff there. But Carnival's great. I do Norwegian as well, and maybe some for Royal Caribbean. But they're all different, Some are a little fancier, some are older crowds, some are tons of kids.
Well, I see now that we've got Will Cecil. We have 2 Kansas City comics out on the ocean.
He's out there now
and doing stuff there. Yeah. So where's it off to next? I don't know what this is playing, but what's in your future, just so we can get an idea?
I'll be at the Comedy Club of Kansas City in September.
Okay, I'll come out and see you.
Yeah, doing some new stuff there. I'm going to be working on new material. I promised Dustin there'd be new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's coming up, and then. I got the Funny Bone in Des Moines coming up.
And plus, you're going to be, God knows you're going to be all over the cruise. You said you don't even care where they just say go, you pack your suitcases, and you don't know.
I don't even ask where we go.
That's right.
They could sail around to the other side of Florida and be like, Spain. I'd be like, cool. When did Spain get Waffle House? This is awesome. I never know where we're going.
Well, there's one thing that you can go all these fancy places, but you know what they don't have?
What's that? Casey's.
They don't have
That's
Casey's.
Right.
They don't have
We
Casey's.
get Casey's on the Carnival.
We get Casey's on the
I would
Carnival.
never leave the ship.
That's right. James, thank you so much for being out here. We're going to leave with another clip of James Johann. This has been James Johann on the last show on Televida. From Guillermo and myself, thank you again.